And now Matt Walsh is having to deal with exactly the same dynamic. Now, it's a different topic. It's not prenuptial agreements, but it is this girl right here.
And on a date this week, and I felt the feminism leaving my body. I live on the east side of LA, and if you don't know what that means, it's sort of like the artsier part of LA, you know.
It's Santa Monica, you dumb bitch.
No, it's people say it's like Brooklyn and New York. Like, so I go on dates with a lot of men and women.
Catch that? I go on dates with a lot of men and women. Oh, really?
Who, you know, live over here. There's always
like somehow that Matt missed that little detail in his breakdown.
Negotiation about who pays, and that's great. I like to pay for people, all that. But what I will
look at her. Okay, stop. Full stop. She's got the cat bowl. What? She's got like cinnamon toast crunch in the bowl. And clearly she doesn't like live in she doesn't have this palatial estate. She's probably in a very expensive apartment if she's in Santa Monica. I know exactly where she's talking about. I'm from Southern California. Does she look like the kind of person that pays for dates? I don't think so.
Say is that I sort of fell into going on a date with the most guy I've ever been on a date with. And he's from West, Santa Monica. He's a bro, right?
Really?
A guy's guy is usually not my type. Like, I cannot remember the last time that I went on a date with like a straight bro.
Okay. I love how it's like there has to, you notice that like this mentality. How, first of all, I'm going to ask okay, so let's start. We have to start here because to get to Matt Walsh, we have to go through the first boss. And she's the first boss of today's show. This is the first boss. We got to defeat the first boss. Okay. So, God, that's a great stop too. So first off, my guess is she doesn't actually pay for people on dates, men or women for that matter. So let's just clear the air there. The other thing is like when she's talking about like, he's a bro's bro, he's a man's man. Those are the terms that like feminists or people who are like sort of steeped in the gynocentric social order. Those are euphemisms that they, especially, mostly women will use for guys who are conventionally masculine, who haven't forgot they have testicles attached to their bodies. Or the guys that were like, you know what, I don't know exactly what line of work this bro is in, but most likely he's probably in something that's, a little bit more masculine role of some sorts. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's a nurse. Who knows? I could be wrong. But when women describe a guy as a bro or a bra, or I don't usually do this, but you've been wanting to do this for a while, clearly. And so you're out on a date with a guy who is conventionally masculine. Now, I use the term conventional every time I say something about masculinity or I say something about femininity or I talk about like the red pill and the blue pill. I usually use terms that are sort of qualifiers for those. So when I use the term traditional, I'm usually talking about like tradcons, right? But when we're talking about masculinity in an objective general sense, you'll hear me use the term conventional masculinity because there are certain traits that make men, doesn't matter what traditions they're from or what ethnicity they're from or what part of the globe they're from or whatever else, there are certain aspects of masculinity that are universal, that are unique to human males, period. Full stop. That's my word for the day is full stop. But she can't put it in those terms because she's kind of has to be a little bit, she's almost like an apologist. I'm sorry, feminists. I went out with Justin Waller.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? But it befell me. It befell me in an organic fashion. So I'm on this date with this guy, and the thing about a guy's guy is he's putting his card down. He's paying for everything. And I really...
Have you ever had a dream
it sort of activated something feral in me. I'm not gonna lie. We went to like another bar and he was gonna go to the bathroom. So I was getting prepared to pay for our drinks because
No, you weren't.
He's been paying all night. Of course I'm gonna pay for the next round. But as he's going to leave for the bathroom, he turns to me and he hands me his credit card. And he goes, "Here's my card. Get us whatever."
Okay. We're stopping right here for a reason, and it's not the forehead. We're stopping here for a reason because what she's just described also plays into, I guess you could technically put it into Destiny's divorce, but just in a more general sense. is the guy, now I want you put a 1 in the chat if you think this is right, put a 2 in the chat if you think it's bullshit. Okay. Do you think that the guy who's handing her his credit card saying, just get us whatever you think you want to get, right? That's a baller move. Okay. It's a Waller move. That's a Waller move. But would you say that a guy who would do that is more affluent than her, makes more money, is paid more than she is? I would make that presumption. Is he older than she is? And how much older do you think this guy is to say, here's my card, order up whatever you want to, I'll be right back, I'm going to go take a piss? My guess is this guy is probably the first dude she's been with who's at least 4 or 5 years old, maybe even older than that, maybe 6 or 7 years older than she is. I could almost guarantee you that the guy she's describing is older than she is. Yeah, tell me how old you think the guy is. Put that in the chat. At least 10. I would say the guy is most definitely. I'm gonna go balls to the wall. I would say at least 5 years older, possibly 7 years older than she is. And that's what's got her vagina tingling for all of this. The reason why I'm making a big deal out of this is because when we look at Matt Walsh's clip, who's going to talk about this as well, he wants to say it's about the money. Well, you don't get that money unless you have done something, unless you have the confidence and like I said, a baller move. Like you don't, unless you have a credit card where it's like, yeah, like they're on a date. Like I presume this is a first date. You're handing this chick your credit card, like to. And the other thing is this. I don't know where they were at or what club they were at or what bar they're at, because she doesn't describe any of this, but she's just like over the moon because she feels the feminism, like, exiting her body as a result of going out with a guy who's conventionally masculine. My guess is he's older. My guess is he's certainly richer. And he also has what I would say is probably amuse mastery. He's probably got very good command presence. All of the technique stuff that I describe in the player's handbook in my 5th book, by the way. Yes, I have 5 books. Command presence, certainly situational awareness, absolutely amuse mastery. And that amuse mastery is probably why she creates a video and throws it on TikTok to apologize for getting tingles for this guy that she wouldn't necessarily get tingles for because she's so feminist and maybe she's just out of college or something right now. But then now suddenly she doesn't have a peer group that's going to judge her for going out with a guy like that. But she still feels like maybe they will. And so now she's just like, I don't know. I just like guys who are like that now. So my guess is the guy is older. My guess is the guy is richer. My guess is the guy has at least some amount of game. But I will say this, one part that I have a question about is, why would you not be running a tab in the first place? Just tell the bartender what you want. I'll be right back. I ain't giving you my freaking ATM card. Get the fuck out of here. Why would you not have a tab already running? I worked in the liquor industry for like 15, almost 18 years. That's what I would have presumed. Right? Well, we got a tab running. I'll take care of it when I get back from the pisser. How come that's not a detail?
It might be time for me to get away from all these, liberal snowflakes on the east side.
Yep, I would say so. I think so. Okay, why is this going viral? Why would this be a big deal? Because it is a direct slap in the face to what you would probably hear from, Jasmine Jafar or Angela Knight or certainly Melina. Let's see, who else? Not so erudite. Like roll the tape. Get the names out there. Everybody's like, who are you fucking talking about? Destiny's Angels. All the girls who would want to go on there and say, no, it's about how we feel about each other. No, it's about, it's how you feel about the guy who can take care of you. And that's really what it comes down to. Because I have butted heads with a lot of people, and Mike Sartain too, because we do agree on this point. I will always say, pay for a date. You're going to take a chick out. That's part, by the way, of establishing frame, is paying for the date and not allowing a woman to pay for the date. Now, some people are going to call this chivalry, and I'm going to tell you you're wrong, because chivalry is not about paying for a date. Chivalry was never about opening doors. Chivalry was never about, you know, what are we going to do? Put your kerchief down on the mud on the puddle so milady can walk across the get the fuck out of here with that. Chivalry is not that. It's not opening doors for grandma. That should just be common courtesy. Like, I don't care if you're male or female. Open a damn door for somebody who's older than you, for Christ's sake. Don't be an asshat. But that's not chivalry. And I've written quite extensively about chivalry. So all you guys on Twitter who say, oh, Roll doesn't know anything about dude, read my 4th book. There is an extensive chapter. In fact, I'm going to read from it here today, too, to let you know exactly the history of chivalry. Again, something I got into with Pat Campbell back in the Pat Campbell days. I've written extensively on chivalry and why what we think is chivalry today is not. And I have to bring this up once again in the preamble here, because Matt Walsh would like to say, well, here's women really want chivalry and you can't have feminism and you can't have chivalry in the same thing. No, Matt, because what you think is chivalry is bullshit. It is feminine primacy is what it is. It is gynocentrism. The chivalry that you think is chivalry is really feminism 1.0 instead of feminism 2.0, which is what we've got right now. Marriage causes divorce. Is the blonde chick beta widowed? Now she has received a credit card on the first date. How will her future boyfriends compete now she has been ruined? Yeah, maybe. But what's interesting to me is, and this is really kind of where Matt goes with this, and he's not the only one, by the way. Brett Cooper's talked about this, and it's like the most obvious thing. And the most obvious thing is not always the correct thing. And I know that's the Occam's razor thing. Well, it's obvious that she just gets off on having a credit card. She's a gold digging bitch. No. She's getting off on the fact that the guy's probably older. And if he's not that much older than she is, it's like the attitude of having like amused mastery. I have mastery of my frame. I have mastery of my realm. Here, bitch, you're in my world right now. And in my world, you use my card to go get drinks. That's frame control. Definitely. So when people say, Rolo, I would never pay for a girl for a dinner or for anything like that. That's simping behavior. No, it's not. It's frame. It's establishing frame is what it is. This is my world. And in my world, I take care of my bitches. In my world, here's my card. In my world, I'm paying for the Uber to get you back home, or I'm driving you there myself in my nice car. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but it's still and I'm the one that's driving it. I'm not driving you. When I started dating, here's a quick personal story. And people know this, I've said this a million times. When I first started dating Mrs. Tomasi, she expected me to be the guy who was in control. She expected me to be alpha. Her father, by the way, from Texas, very alpha guy. And whenever we would go on a date and we took her car, because sometimes it would be my car. I had a truck. She had whatever, Suzuki Vitara, some shit like that. She would hand me the keys and she'd say, okay, we're going, I would say, hey, we're going to go to such and such. Okay. She'd hand me the keys and I was driving her car. I wasn't insured on her car. She still hands me the keys, right? She's actually the first woman to ever do that because she expected me to be in the driver's seat. And that really kind of set the tone for our relationship. She expects me to have frame control already just by default, right? So, I'm happy to say that I stepped into that role very, very easily. But I will say she was the first one to ever do that. And here you have this one girl that's talking about like, oh, he gave me his credit card. I can't believe it, right? That's some like new revelation to her, something very novel. Well, that's because you don't expect it from the dudes that you usually date, because they're walking on eggshells. They don't want to offend because they don't want to miss the pussy, right? They don't want to fuck up their good thing. They don't want to. It's a sure thing. Oh, I'm in there. I just don't want her to think that I don't support women's rights. I don't want her to think that I don't respect women. And it's like this constant like subroutine running in the backs of their brains. Like these guys, who she's talking about, these simpy kind of wimpy, what do they say, guys from the East Side or whatever it was, these liberal guys. And it's very reinforcing ideologically. It's very reinforcing for guys like Matt Walsh to talk about this kind of stuff because it seemed like, see, we were right all along. It's like, again, it goes back to the prodigal son narrative. Here's a woman who strayed from the faith. She went away from, like, she's never experienced this good, a guy who's older, richer, like into her, who has a frame and a world into which she wants to enter. And now she's come back to the, I've seen it. I see the light. I see the light. I see the light. And now I understand the value of a conservative guy, or at least a guy who has frame control, a guy who probably uses amuse mastery. I'll explain that to you in a minute. What is amuse mastery? But she's finally in a relationship now, or I don't know, maybe she's not in a relationship. She went on a date with a guy who just established from day one, said from the get-go, from the jump, says, I'm driving the car. This is where we're going. Here's my credit card. I got to take a piss. Justin Waller will say something like that on any random podcast. Hell, I hate to. Okay, I love Jedediah Bila like a sister, the sister she is, right? And she, by the way, she's in Montana now. But she was on his show, and you could just, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. The very first interview between Jed and Justin Waller, and Justin has that Southern gentleman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know, he's like, he's a fine Southern gentleman who takes care of his stuff and takes care of his women and takes care of his kin. And he does. Honestly, that's who he is, right? Women melt for that shit. If you look like Justin Waller, if you have that kind of just slight bit of a Southern drawl, he's not like, when I talk to Justin, I can just get that Southern drawl. When I know when he's coming back from Baton Rouge, because it's like he still has it gets a little more intensified. But a good friend of mine, I'm not ratting him out or anything like that, but that's his thing. That's part of his game, right? And you have probably heard him say this on several occasions, like, I would never let a woman pay for a date. I would never let a woman pay for her drinks. I would never let a woman, like, I would pick her up. I drive. I open the door for her. Say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and he does. By the way. Again, that Southern, I don't know, sensibilities, I guess, like old school, like, you know, the old South, right? And women love that. You know why? Because it's so fucking rare. Because guys are like, even the guys who could pull that off it doesn't even occur to them to try to pull something like that off. That's part of his game. And it works for him because that's who he is. It's authentic. So his game, not necessarily inauthentic. It's just that's the way he is. Throw that on, a New York City girl like Jedediah Bila, and yeah, married and still like, it's like that. Do you remember in Indiana Jones, when Indiana Jones is in the classroom in the beginning of the movie and he's like, giving the lecture and stuff like that, and the girls are like, that's exactly like she's got the eye that says love you like tattooed under her eyes. I love you. That's the impression I got during that interview.